Hello everyone, it's Game Trigger at it again. A game's soundtrack is as important as the game itself. This is coming from a cultured enjoyer of video game music. A pretty mid video game can be transformed into quite the experience if the soundtrack is pretty lit. And a marvelous video game can take quite a beating in the ratings and in terms of fun factor if the soundtrack is lacking. This game I'm playing here being a perfect example of that. This coming from an avid enjoyer of video game music himself. Now make no mistake, many soundtracks from Forza make it to my Spotify playlist, but I feel like a lot could be done better in this regard. See what I mean when I say your soundtrack matters? Now in the case of licensed music, either it fits the game and becomes pretty much something you can relate the game with, or in the case of original soundtrack, well, it has to be composed with the game in mind, and it has to capture the vibe of the game. Speaking of vibe, not all the time do I see the vibe being captured. And oh no, I've broken Forza Horizon again. Turn 10 Studios or whoever's running this circus, fix your damn game, mate. I can't be embarrassed in front of the fans like this. Oh my lord. I guess we shall carry on as the game plays out. I didn't make the game, I'm just playing and recording it. But anyway, speaking of games, if games like Persona, Shin Megami Tensei, and Nier Automata did not have their killer soundtrack, we would not be able to remember them as vividly as we can now. Sometimes, the tunes of a video game, listening to them is all it takes to relive a distant memory. Can't vibe to any of this. Let me spice things up a little. You see and you hear that, ladies and gentlemen? That's the whole point of today's video. Your piece of media, not necessarily a video game, whether it's a drama, a TV show, a play, really anything, that is defined by its soundtrack more or less. Removing the soundtrack and proceeding to publish it all together, it would be a little bit bizarre, unless you're publishing a book or a news article. Also, please don't copyright strike my video because I don't own any of these awesome tunes. Also, with that particularly stated, if this video does get copyright claimed, then I do suppose it's pretty much canon at this point that I crank up video game music as I drive in real life. Which is very much true. Either it's that or heavy freaking metal, with some vaporwave and Eurobeat in tow. But anyway, back in my day, EA, for example, really gave it their all by including the OST from not just all previous Burnout games, they gave us killer bands like Killswitch Engage, Twisted Sister, just to name a few. Pigeon Detectives? I heard of them first on Burnout Paradise. If this game was supposed to be their swan song, They truly went all out with it, and it was really nice of them to give us the complete playlist in the remaster of the game. And Burnout Paradise's soundtrack is a shining example of an entire game being completed by its soundtrack. It's awesome either way, but the soundtrack just simply sweetens the experience all the more. Hey, how about another one? Hey, there's a lot more where that came from. like a totally different game at this point, which leads us to... Well folks, I wasn't serving too many yapperoni pizzas in today's video because some things are better experienced rather than being explained the whole time. Time for an encore. Aw yeah, it's Toyotin time! Also, don't rev your car when you start it up.